people. And in my head, I'm like, we're definitely all fighting towards the one goal.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I'm hoping. But now I'm just wondering, has people different agendas? I don't know. That's the way it seems to me. I'm sitting back as kind of an onlooker, and that's what I'm seeing. As it comes across that there could be some people with different agendas now, even though...
Hello and welcome to Save Our Sperms podcast, Voices from the Frontline. This podcast shares the stories, reflections and campaign of those standing up to protest one of Ireland's most precious landscape, the Sperrin Mountains. Across these episodes, you'll hear from people rooted in the land, farmers, artists, teachers, scientists and citizens, each with their own reason for speaking out against gold mining and extractivism. These are not just campaigners, they are caretakers, storytellers, stewards of the landscape and protectors of place. Together, their voices form a powerful reminder that this is not a protest of one community, one ideology or one generation, but a shared stand for what matters. Today, I'm joined by Olivia and Tish, two young mothers raising their families within spitting distance of the proposed gold mine. For them, this isn't an abstract debate or a distant threat. The processing plant would be right on their doorstep. Their concerns are urgent and deeply personal. For the health of their young children, for the safety of the air they breathe, the water that they drink, and the soil on which they grow their vegetables. But it's also about something bigger. The survival of a community where their families have lived for generations, and the legacy that will be passed down to all the children of Greencastle. Olivia, Tish, it's so lovely to have you both here. I know neither of you are the sort to put yourselves in the spotlight, so I really appreciate you taking the time to sit down and talk with me. And we're just going to have a chat about life here in Greencastle, about your families, and why this place matters so much to you. So if you'd like to start, Tish.
So I have 5 children, so it's a lot of community activities. You're running from football to camogie and everything else in between. And I suppose that's the biggest thing that I like about here, is the community aspect of life, and the children does have so much going on all the time, you know, so I can't fit in work in between all that on top of that, and no 2 weeks is ever the same.
And you arrived here this morning, it looked like you'd been out somewhere for a walk.
I have to start the day off, Mariana, with a walk every single day, or else we'd never get through the day. That's my time out every morning. And I usually, there's so many nice routes around here, you could pick any route to go, but I stick to the same route every morning and take the 2 dogs with me. So we leave the house, head up past the pitch and over the green road to the very end and back again. So it's nearly 6 miles, you know, by the time I leave the house and come back again. So it's a lovely walk.
Is that the green road up past the caravans?
Past the GPO.
Okay, right.
And you never, like, that's what I was saying when I came running in here, I was late as usual. And it's because I never would walk that route without speaking to people along the way. You meet someone every single morning, no matter how early I go out. If it changed my times about thinking I need to get out and back again, you'll never get out and back without running into somebody and meeting somebody. It's lovely. You're meeting people every single day.
Okay.
And we chat along the way. It's great.
Tell me about your aunt that owns the house up the Green Road.
Okay, that would have been Mummy's Aunt Marilla. She had owned a house up the Green Road, a wee stone house, and actually the ruins of it still standing, you know. Like one gavel's rightly standing on one side of the wall. So I actually pass that in my daily walks every day, and that's why I think I love, because I'd be thinking to myself, you know, many's a day Mummy would have walked this road up to her auntie's, And I'd be looking at the wee ruins thinking, there's so many stories in them walls. Do you know when the history that's in them walls is still standing after all these years? And thinking about the hard times that they probably went through. Imagine she was living the day to think of what her house was going to be, what's going to be on top of her house.
Yeah.
Do you know, imagine if she was here the day that she would have struggled hard to keep her wee farm and the wee build, like her lovely wee house that she was probably so proud of. You know, and that's like the view that woman had from her house. And if she was here the day, like, it actually makes me feel well sad every time I walk past it to think, imagine what would be going through her head if she was here and how hard it would have been for them to keep that the way it was. And they've handed it on through you. It's still in my family, like, it's still in our family, that farm. And hopefully it'll be, what I hope is that it'll be in our family for many, many more years.
Of course it will. And Olivia, what about you?
Well, much the same as Tish. I have 4 children, and as Tish said, no week's the same, so very busy. 3 boys, 1 girl with football, camogie, and I've also 2 boys that box as well. Do a bit of boxing for Cookstown Boxing Club, and between running here, there, and Everroad is busy. Myself, I do a wee bit of running too, like Tish. But try to get up early in the morning, but I don't get as much done now as I would like to get done. I care for my mother, so that's taking up a lot of my time. And usually when I get up first thing in the morning, I go to her to sort her before I get anything done myself. So.
Okay. And you mentioned to me earlier that you bring your boys fishing. Where do you bring them fishing?
Well, we fish down here in the local river. There's a place down here. It's called Sissies, as we call it.
And what's the name of the river?
They own Kilju.
And what would they catch in the river?
Well, they catch small trouts, but you know, they release them again. It's really just the fascination of going fishing, catching a small trout, and they put them back in again. I suppose the boys talk a lot down there about seeing the fresh water pearls, mussels. So they bring home sometimes the dead shells of those, it's great down there, so it is.
Brilliant. And
Olivia, the boys actually showed me the shell one, and I've never seen one before.
oh, really?
So I was like, we're learning from our own children every day.
Oh, that's great.
You know, and they were so excited to get shown it to you and explain it all to you. And I was like, this is the first time I'm living here in Greencastle for 45 years, and I have never seen this before. So I was amazed, and it's lovely to see the excitement in them and them learning all about it, you know, and able to tell you everything. Like.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And I suppose, like when we were children, me and my 2 brothers, we spent a lot of time down there as well, fishing. I suppose we had known about the mussels, and I suppose now we're continuing on. I'm really showing my children and learning them about them.
Yeah.
And you know, there's a lot of children in this parish wouldn't know about them. Being down there, as you say,
Learn that, you know about his fishing and that.
But tissues wouldn't have known about it. Where we were taken down and we were showing them, and now continuing on to the children. And I suppose they are telling my boys are telling other, others don't know about it. And
so it's so interesting.
It's a great place. It's a great place.
So moving along, how long have you both known each other, and how or where did you meet?
Well, we know each other all our life. We're kind of like sisters, aren't we?
Yeah, we get. We were only a field apart, so maybe we'll not get into that. But there wasn't much between us, I suppose. And our parents were great neighbours, friends. I suppose Greencastle's not a big place, so everybody knows everybody. And
I know, and then I would have been, I suppose, in later life. Then we would have run about together. We went to school together. And all the children, I suppose, during holidays and everything, we ran up and down the fields to each other, and we were always into something.
we were.
And getting on, Olivia's daddy was a great man then for the youth of the parish. He would have been really, getting everybody into running and, encouraging all that. So he was great with the youth, and as the years went on then, he would have had us all involved with the running of the Boxing Day run, the annual Boxing Day run here in the community. And like Oliver always said, it was a community event and always promote, and he wanted everybody involved in it. And over the years then we just got more involved and more involved till We're still involved.
We're still involved, and sort of my father's now passed on, and he's left it with us. So
Legacy.
yes, and this is now it's all going now 40 years, and the crowds are growing. And I suppose on Boxing Day, you're bringing hundreds, thousands of people into the small village of Greencastle to take part in a 5-mile run, and
I know
that's what it's all about.
I know my three have all been up here running some Boxing Days. Sometimes they all make it, sometimes only one or two of them make it. You know, but they've been doing it on and off for a few years. So
I suppose that kind of made the bond between us even stronger.
Yeah.
Oliver would have never left our house.
That's right.
Oliver said, "This is my adopted daughter."
That's right. That's what he had to say.
You know, I suppose we're all McCulloughs. I was McCullough before I was married, so there's a lot of McCulloughs. So there was just that good connection.
And then I was another McCullough. So well, they were the Mileses, we were the Janantneys.
right.
So
Okay.
it was only for the nicknames.
Yeah.
So between you, then you've quite a little gang of kids together, and I guess that friendship has gone down into your children's.
That's right.
Carrying on,
family.
continuing on. They're all friends. They're all together.
Yeah.
And they're all in school together
They're all
as
still
well.
together, yeah.
So if someone from outside of Greencastle or from far away were to ask you what makes Greencastle special, what would you tell them?
Well, what makes it special for me is definitely the great community that we do have, and what we take for granted. I suppose every morning we're getting up to the lovely sight and the scenery, and you know, it's only whenever our relatives would come home from America and they'll comment, they're like, "Oh my God, look at the view," and sometimes I'm like, "Oh God, you know, like
We take it
I
for
take
granted.
that for granted every day. I am out walking in the middle of that lovely view every day, and you're rushing on with the daily activity of life, and sometimes you just don't stop to take time to take in what's around you. But when you do take that in, then you're so grateful for what you have and for what you grew up in, you know. And Greencastle will always be so important to me because I'm born and bred in Greencastle. Both mummy and daddy were born and bred in Greencastle, so Greencastle's in our veins.
Yeah.
And you know, I could never imagine being anywhere else. I love everything about it. I love the good neighbours we have. I love how we were friends growing up. Now our children are friends. We were neighbours. Our children are neighbours now, and that's just continuing on. And I just love that. No matter what we set out to do, you know, if it's in the club, if it's to do with the run, once we put it out there and say we're doing something, everybody pulls together, and with the click of a finger, everybody's there, everybody's helping, and it's always a success.
That's so
It
great.
never fails. So
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't think if you were anywhere else that you would get that. And you know, when you come away from them kind of days, you're like, God, this is the best place to be.
And I suppose the other, for me, I think just Greencastle's so untouched. It's in its natural beauty as it has been for hundreds of years.
Yeah.
Untouched, unspoiled.
Yeah.
Sure, it's beautiful.
Makes me want to move here, to be honest.
Honestly,
It is, it's so nice.
Yeah.
Clear air.
Yeah.
Great. What better place?
I could never imagine being anywhere else.
Yeah. So Olivia, Tish mentioned earlier that your dad started the Boxing Day run.
Yeah.
That's quite a legacy. What do you remember about how it began?
He'd run a few races beforehand, before it actually came the annual Greencastle 5-mile road race. He'd maybe run a 10-mile before that, and don't know, you probably don't remember that either, Tish. What do I remember, I suppose, our Christmases, really. Our Christmases were the Boxing Day 5-mile road race.
Right.
That's how we grew up, you know. Our Christmas Day would have been spent organising for the race the next day.
Right.
That's how it was. That's all a lot of my memories were.
Yeah.
Helping my father out, and
Brilliant.
that's my earliest memories, going down the road, setting up different things, you know, mile markers, and you know. So a lot of that, really, that's how it all kicked off. For me, anyway, that's what I remember. So.
And now you're keeping it going, and others along with you, perhaps your brother,
Yes,
people
two
like that.
brothers, Connor and Pierce.
What's that like for you all?
Well, I suppose now we sort of laugh. Now my father's passed away now, 3 years past, and the joke now in our house is, look at the handling that Daddy left us in, because he's left us this massive event to organise and to continue on. And, you know, Tish, you know, like it's a lot of waste, you know, it's a lot of work for us. But when Daddy was here, it seemed to be nothing, because he done everything.
Yeah.
You know, where I suppose now we're complaining when we're busy with families and all, and with this to do and that to do, where he had everything under control. But I suppose in a way, Daddy he's passed on, but he left the event with, you know, everyone had their wee jobs to do.
Yeah.
There was no committee. There was no, you know, Daddy had given everybody their wee piece to do.
Delegated.
And you know what to do.
Yeah.
Every year comes round, everybody knows their job to do. No
Yeah.
call for meetings.
Yeah.
It's done, and everybody go out and get it done.
I suppose it's become something now that our community is very proud of. It's an event that we're all very proud of, so everybody feels
Part of it.
it's part of them.
Yeah.
Now. It's
Yeah.
part of them even, you know. And so you want it to go well,
Yeah.
and you want it because it kind of showcases our community.
It absolutely does.
You know, and nobody leaves that hall ever in a year without commenting on the great day they had.
Or empty-handed.
Or empty-handed. And
Yeah.
they talk about the hospitality, and I'm like, but that is what we are
That's
here
key.
in Greencastle. The hospitality always, even on days of blitzes up there in the club, you know, whenever it comes to the football, the beyond underage, the other teams will always leave saying like the hospitality, like thank you so much. And I'm like, because everybody pulls together whenever they need to.
And really the race has brought in a lot of people. England,
Yeah.
America, all over the world.
Yeah.
It's bringing in, you know, it brings in, it's really, the race is tourism.
Yeah.
It's bringing people in. There's people staying in the local B&Bs. They stay, come for their Christmas holidays, take part in the race.
That's
And
fantastic.
it really is,
Yeah.
like it's unbelievable. It's
At a
something-
time of the year when you
At the
wouldn't
time of the year.
associate much tourism
That's right. No,
in
no.
the area. Yeah.
So, and
It's very true.
That's all what Daddy was for. He was for bringing people into the area to show them this beautiful place that we live in.
And you know, even when you come to that time of year and you've got the winter aspect of it, it's even nicer here in the winter. And I know people mightn't realise that, but if you walk up that road in the winter, you know, there when we had the snow in January or February time, like the pictures I took up there was just unbelievable.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was like, this place is as nice in the winter as it is on a sunny day like today, like, you know.
It's amazing to see how traditions like that keep the heart of a place beating. But then, alongside those happy memories, comes the news about the gold mine. When you first heard there might be a gold mine here, what went through your minds?
Well, actually, ironically, the first person that came through my door to tell me about the gold mine and to really hate the thing sussed was Olivia's daddy, Oliver. And I remember listening to him and being all confused and thinking, oh, you're way off your head. Like he was saying, this is going to be so bad. We need to, like something needs to be done. This is really, you know, this is not good. And I thought he was way off his head. That's the truth. I remember thinking, like, suppose that God knows what I was in the middle of, but I was like, well, I can be that bad.
I think maybe what happened, Tish, was when the Radiant Force had come in here, they had painted up such a nice picture of what it was going to be. Tell us all it's all going to be great. And I suppose brainwash us in a way, and maybe thought we weren't that maybe educated. I don't know. Could you say, you know, that's what they thought.
What do I think?
And then they didn't realise the local people maybe would start looking into it a wee bit more and get into the nitty-gritty of it, and you look it up and you see
maybe the
what it
local
is.
people, like say 30 years before they came back, when was that? Was that around 2010, was it? 2000.
Yeah,
whenever
around
they
about
came.
then, yeah.
But maybe 30 years before that they had been in the area.
Yeah.
Maybe not the
Okay.
Radiant, but a gold mine, and that would have been in the time of the Troubles. We would have been really young. And I suppose local people, at that time then it all stopped in the way they went. So maybe people thought they'll just go away again.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? So people maybe didn't, had a bit of the blinkers on
Sure.
and didn't really think, I suppose, the extent of what this was going to be. And the thing that really woke us all up then, whenever there was the word then of a processing plant, and that it was going to be put here in our community, you know, you were like, oh, hang on a minute, like, what does this all about? You know.
And the other thing then I suppose they did was they got a had, say, not too many, could count in one hand, but they got a couple of paid locals. And then they started to go around,
Planting seeds.
planting seeds,
People
telling us how,
saying-
everything's going to be good, and, I've talked to them and I know, and I've read up on it and they've taught me, and they were going around from house to house really on the other way, trying to tell us how good it was going to be.
Because they were, I would feel they were very clever in the people that they would have picked too.
Yes.
The locals that they did manage to get into their head to become part of Dalradian, they would have been respected locals too.
Of course.
And I suppose that's the bit that then confuses people, because they're like, God, these people would have been well respected in our community. And then, you could have people, once that respected person starts to plant wee seeds in someone else's head, that kind of takes a role, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And, why would you not believe this person? Because they're well respected.
They're your neighbour, they're your friend.
They're your neighbour,
You've
you're
lived
the
with them.
friend, and so that's the bit, I suppose, that really angers me, is that they cunningly picked good people to come on their side.
Okay.
But
Tuned in, yeah.
they were tuned in to seeing what was coming.
Yeah.
It was all too good to be true.
So, your dad was against it from the very start. And what were the things did he talk about or did he worry about in relation to the mine? Can you remember?
Well, I suppose he worried about what they were going to put back into the ground and into the soil. He grew up on a farm where they're planning to put the processing plant was bordered with their land.
Yeah.
So he wasn't happy about that, and the cows and the sheep and would all be consuming again. And then they talked about all this waste that was going to be. So where was this waste going to be? It was never going to go away. So all these things worried about him. I suppose the clean water. Daddy grew up down around the river himself, so we knew he was well educated on the freshwater pearls, mussels, and I suppose that worried him. The water. She was big into the canoeing years ago too, and he just worried about all that, about the rivers and everything in general.
And do you think those worries are still the same now?
No, because I feel like we're far stronger and far better at the minute, and what we understand now of what it is, because of the great people that we had working behind the scenes, finding out everything. I mean, I'm sure a lot of the community could have never went through them pages and pages and pages of planning.
That's true.
But we had a great set of people that was able to get in between every lane and work out everything and keep the rest of us all informed.
Yeah.
I know for me as a mummy of 5 and trying to get through every day, I would have never got through all them pages.
Never, you wouldn't have the time.
But to get that information coming back and to be kept up to date with everything, and I know that's what I'm quite grateful for anyway, is all the deadly people that have been working behind the scenes and keeping us all informed. But the thought of a plant like that going up so close to our primary school where our children attend, and we schools that we've worked quite hard to keep going, like our replace school, Green Elves, as parents we all worked hard to keep Green Elves going, such a deadly wee place, and then they just transfer across the road into our primary school, another lovely wee rural primary school with great numbers, and everybody happy in it.
Yeah.
I'm like, the thought of a processing plant meters away from that,
You're talking
our
12.
children, like we send them there, that they're safe, they're protected, everything's good, they're with their friends. I'm like, these, and do you remember at one point the Dalradian actually came onto the primary school?
Yeah, they do with their leaflets.
Now maybe that was an oversight of who was in charge at the time, maybe that ever happened, and maybe again not realising the extent of what was happening, right? That was an early
it's understandable,
days,
yeah.
early days. But I know that we were all angry as parents that we didn't even know they were coming in, and they were making out that working in a gold mine was going to be brilliant.
They were all going to get jobs.
They were all going to get jobs working in a gold mine. Our children don't want to work in a gold mine. Why do you think that's what their future holds? I know. They're like 6 and 7 looking up at these strangers in front of them, telling them how great it'd be to work in a gold mine.
And a suit on them.
And I just remember thinking, right, enough of this.
Carry on.
We will educate our children on what they have around them and what they can be and what they, that the world is their oyster. Do you know what I mean? That there's way more to life and look at what you have around them. And, if anything, I would say the best thing that came out of this is we have educated our children. If this hadn't been happening, our children wouldn't have been aware of what they need to fight for.
Yeah.
They wouldn't maybe realise what they have around them.
Learn them to protect and not to destroy what we have.
Yeah.
We'll have it here because once you destroy it, that's it. It's gone.
Yeah.
Hold on to it. And if they ever decide to travel the world, that they come back home knowing this place is safe for them. And they can start their families here and live here safe.
Yeah.
With clean air, water.
For you both, what's the biggest thing that makes you feel this mine shouldn't go ahead?
Health reasons. Just as we've covered already. Clean air, water, land.
Okay.
People, local farmers to keep their animals safe.
Like a mine, Marilla, in my eyes, is not for a rural community like this. There's nothing that would point in any way to the direction of way it should go ahead. In my head, I'm like, this is not for here. This is not for here. And I have family that lives in Canada, and I spoke to them about the mines in Canada, and they were like, Tish, the mines here in Canada are out in the middle of nowhere. And they were like, we can't believe that anybody would ever be thinking that this should be in the middle of Greencastle, because our family in America and Canada, they love it here.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Yeah.
They are mad about it here, and they would live here if they had the chance. And they can't believe that anybody would. They are as behind us, the ones living and away are as behind us as we are ourselves. That they support everything that we are doing. And to me, I'm just like, that's madness to think that anything like that would ever be put here in our community.
In an area of outstanding beauty, like what's going on.
So you mentioned about the school being so close to the tailings dump. Can you tell me why that worries you?
For the health reasons of the children, like there's no way that you would send your child. They couldn't go outside to play.
There's too many risks.
There's far too
many risks.
Yeah.
Our children should not.
They shouldn't be exposed to that. Nobody should be exposed to that, and especially children, because children don't know. They are so innocent, happily going out about their wee daily business. They don't have that knowledge that an adult would have about the danger. They're not aware of the dangers of things. They're just getting on with life, and to think that it feels like you're throwing them into the fire.
Okay.
You're risking lives.
Yeah.
That's it. It's too close. It's, really, it's 1,200 metres as a crow flies from the primary school, and from our house here. Really, it's far too close.
What kind of a future do you imagine for them if the mine goes ahead?
I can't even bring myself to think about that. What it would be like. I don't know.
I don't even know that we could be living where we are if the mine. Like, I don't feel like we couldn't stay where we are in our house if the mine was to go ahead. So I couldn't see a future here in Greencastle for my family if that was to go ahead, because I don't know where we would go. And who's going to buy your house?
You would want to live here.
Like, sure, it's not going to be able to be sold. Like, we're bit. What do we do? Where do we go? This is my home, and it's the home for my children. And I'm like, in my eyes, that'll never happen whenever I'm here, and I'm making sure that I'm educating my children that, if this is still a fight that carries on, that my children will be well aware to keep that fight going, because this land and this area belonged to my family way before I was ever even thought about. I don't know, it wouldn't feel like home.
Yeah, Greencastle's always had such a strong community feel. Do you think the mine has changed that?
In a way, I know people would say it has, right? I feel like it's made our community stronger. Because like I said earlier, now we realise what we have around us. It's made us awake to what we have around us, and it's made us make sure that our children are aware of what they have around us. I would never say that it's weakened our community.
No. I do think the Iridian would like to put that out. That maybe it has, that there's some sort of split in the community where there's a crowd that does want it and another crowd that doesn't. Like, that's not how it is. But I can see how they would like to portray that's what's happening. But
There's certain people, surely, that
of course there is.
would not be in our way of thinking. They're still involved in the same things that we're involved in. It's their choice whether they want to walk past you or they don't want to. You know, whether they want to speak or not. But do you know what I think's great, Marilla? Is that we found out who them people are. I'm glad that I know in my community the neighbours that I could run to if I needed them. And now I have worked out the ones that would be no good to be running to. You know, and to me, I'm like, that's a deadly thing that we've done.
Yeah.
You know, that's a brilliant thing now that we realise who's who.
Well, you've worked out who wants to protect this area we live in, and you worked out who doesn't, and who doesn't actually really care too much about their neighbours, really, about their health or about, you know, their well-being, you know, or about the land or anything. You don't seem to
I think that's a big plus to know that. I'm happy to know who's who now, you know. It makes me happy to know. You know, because there's some people that I'm shocked at, that they would be happy to sell out their community to like an international company that thinks nothing of here. That thinks nothing of the whole of Ireland, like the whole island.
They'll pack up
and
and
they're
leave.
happy.
They'll just pack up and leave us still.
And you know, some of them people would shock you, because you know, who would have thought?
You get these people, I suppose, that they'll say, oh, I'm in the middle of the road. Nobody's, you know, I'm not for it and I'm not against it. But when they're saying that, to me, they're for it. Because what's their fight? What's their cause? What do they stand up for?
I suppose some people would be like, I don't want to speak out, you know, I'm against it, but I just don't want to speak out. And I'm like, why? I have never once ever had the fact that I'm against it, because I want to let people know that I'm against it, because I understand why I'm against it. You know, I'm not afraid to say why I'm against it. It makes sense.
Like, whenever we come to putting in letters, when I wrote a letter against it, and I put my name to it, I put my address to it, I put my phone number to it. I didn't hide behind no anonymous letter. You know, which has been done, or I wrote one for my family and for my children. But I'll say who it was and what it was, and everybody knows. I think Tish, like, everybody knows what way we stand.
Well, I mean, I felt like it was important every protest there was that I stood out and I took my children with me. And Mummy, God rest her, when Mummy was living as well, Mummy came to the protest too. You know, but I was like, why would I hide? I know what I'm fighting. I'm fighting for my home and my community.
And this is what I feel, Marilla. I feel like if you're in support of the Iridian and you want to say, stand up and say that. What are you hiding about?
You know, Marilla, like I was talking earlier about the letters going on us against the whole, or for and support of the whole mining. Like, one of the groups that went in was called the Greencastle GA community. They don't exist. That group doesn't exist, and there's not one person around here knows who they are. So, you know, how that letter's even, like, it shouldn't even stand as a letter.
Does it ever appear to you that some people are wearing two hats?
Well, I suppose here we all have the one end goal in sight. We want our land left alone and the Iridian to be gone, but I suppose now you do notice a few things maybe online. I know we shouldn't watch so much online, but you can see local groups, I suppose, getting attacked in a way, and you don't know, are you against us or for us? Do you want to, are you looking rid of the Iridian, or are you helping them, or are you working for them now? What's going on?
I know what you mean. Because I choose not to look at the social media either. But I get confused sometimes with, I mean, we would always been as one unit, and in my head I'm like, we're definitely all fighting towards the one goal.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I'm hoping. I'm sitting back as kind of an onlooker, and that's what I'm seeing, as it comes across that there could be some people with different agendas now, even though that would annoy me as a mummy, because I'm like, I just thought we were all fighting for the one thing and going for the same goal, to get rid of that radiant and to keep our homes safe.
That's right, and we'll all do anything, whatever it takes, to get rid of them.
Yeah.
So over the years, you've both been speaking out against the mine in your own ways. How was that for you at the start, and how is it now?
I suppose at the start, we were through into this all. We're just, what are we? Mothers, busy mothers, and we have to start this. I suppose we're really fighting for our children.
I didn't even think about it at the start. I was against it from the start, and it never bothered me. I was like, I'm against it, and that is it. So we did take a bit of a hit now, and I chose just to pull away from social media, but never at any point pulled away from saying I'm against it.
But that was designed to do that. Those keyboard warriors,
Your daddy,
my father got a bad touch all on social media, all on this Facebook, and that was the radio, and we're happy with that. Trying to deter us from speaking, tries to get us to sit back, close our curtains and stay out of it. They wanted us to stay in the middle of the road and not, speak.
And it does get you down at the time. It takes a wee bit to pull yourself back up again, because you're like, I don't want this crap. We're still, but to me now, I'll still stand out whenever you need to stand out. I'm the same the first day we started protesting as I am today. Same. And I will always, as long as I'm fit, fight to keep my community and my home just the way it is now.
So it's a big fight. What keeps you going when it feels like you're up against something so big?
Just the whole area, and what we have, and what we could potentially lose if this gets the go-ahead. Our homes that have been here.
And I think it's the spirit of the people that's all working together. Do you know? That spirit that everybody has, that's fighting it. Do you know, there's days you kind of, if you ever felt like it wasn't going well, you only have to speak to somebody else who's involved and they can bring you up again, And we're well lucky to have them kind of people in our community that's putting so much work into it and really pushing this whole campaign on. I don't know where we'd be the day without them.
Yeah.
You can't thank them enough, and words couldn't say how grateful you are for it. Like as a mummy of a family, and you're like, I don't know how I would ever thank them people, and can't wait for the day that we're celebrating that they're gone.
It'll be a party.
And how we will be able to thank all them people.
Yeah.
For the work that they've done and the way that they protected our area.
We're very lucky to have them.
We're so lucky. It is a big fight, and sometimes you wonder, like, will it ever come to an end? Do you know, that's my worry. I'm like, are we handing this over to the next generation now? Because, like, will we ever see the day that it comes to an end?
I suppose, as you said, Tish, that's why we have to make sure they are well enough educated. And, we do take the children, if there's protests on, the children are there with us. Saoirse was 5 days old when she was at her first protest,
But it's so important, Mariah, like we said, like you have your 2 schools here. That plant's going to be right up behind them. And then on the other side, we have our community hall and our football pitch. The hub of what our children go to the whole time. You've got youth club activities there. You've got, all your summer scheme activities there. You've got your whole year round football, handball, camogie. I'm like, how anybody in this community could be for such a thing when that is the hub of our community there that's going to be destroyed? We won't have that. Like, there's no way. Here we are building this club up, making it better, adding on to it, and then there's this crowd coming in ready to just mow the whole thing down. Like, it doesn't even make sense.
It doesn't make sense. The ones that are for it.
The ones that are for it are driving their wains there as well.
Yeah.
But yet they're for ready to clear it. I'm like, it just doesn't make any kind of sense in my head.
Coming back to a point you made earlier, and I wanted to just revisit it for a minute. You said you believed it had bring the community together. Speaking about community, because of the work that you've all been doing in relation to the campaign, has it widened out your community as well? in any
Oh my
way.
God, definitely.
Yeah.
The amount of amazing people that we have met through protests, through gatherings, through, I mean, the best hub now, I'm after seeing this lovely hub we have up at the pitch. Jeez, you couldn't have a better hub than the GPO up
I
the road.
know. We've
Do you
met
know-
people from all over the world.
All over the world, meeting at these 2 week caravans, a real hunt. We
Yeah.
have met people from all sides of the community. And it's like Miranda, sure, we've never met you.
Oh, that's true. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And now I feel like I see you more than I see my own family. Do you know, we'll meet at everything, you know.
No matter what religion you are, what creed,
Yeah,
we're all there to protect the world and the air. We're all only passing through,
yeah.
and we have to leave. But what's here for us now, we need to leave it behind for those coming.
If you could say one thing to the decision makers right now, straight from the heart, what would it be?
Leave us alone. Go. Leave us in peace.
I'd love them to come and spend a week with us. Come and spend a week in our lives and see what we're waking up to every day and see what's around us. Come on a walk with me every morning till I show you how close that plant's going to be to us. Come with me and just walk the distance and see the people that I meet every day on that road. And you know, just spend 1 week here and see would you still make that same decision.
Yeah.
What gives you hope?
I suppose all the good people we have now, all the, as I call them, all the educated people that are sussing everything out for us and well read and all these topics and
even to listen to them, you know, when the campaign is going on and you go into the public inquiry and you hear them standing up and speaking, like I feel well proud of them. I feel well proud of the
And
knowledge they have for
it gives you so much hope when you know you have those people standing up for you.
that they have, and the fact that they have in their heart, how strong they feel towards this area, and I'm like, this is all we need.
And they're standing
That's
up.
lovely.
It's not like they're not telling no lies, they're telling how it is. And you know, that's it. It's like
And I think even looking at the generations now coming behind us and seeing the wee fight in them too, I was like, we've great hope this place will never be destroyed because we have great wee ones coming behind us that'll always protect it as well. Do you know, I just think that we're embedding a great ethos in them to keep this community the way it is, and as long as we keep doing that, we're safe.
it'll be all right.
The fight will always be there.
Olivia, Tish, thank you so much for sharing your stories. I know it's not easy to talk about these things, especially when you're so close to home. But you've brought life to what's at stake here in a way that facts and figures never can. I'm really grateful to you both, and I think anyone listening will understand a little better just how much this village means to the people who call it home. Thank you.
Thanks, Marilla.
Talking with Olivia and Tish has been a real window into the life of Greencastle. The quick wit, the shared struggles, and the bonds that hold people together. Yes, there are moments of sadness, but there's also a fierce pride here. The opposition to this mine isn't just a fringe view. It runs right through the heart of the community. And after hearing their stories, it's hard to imagine that strength ever being broken.